Welcome back. Mike Stone is here, and more so than any other night, he deserves a round of applause for braving the elements, driving down from your house. How was it out there?
It was okay. You know, it's going to get worse later, so drive safely in the morning, but let me tell you something. It's either that or sitting at home watching the NBA All-Star game. I'd much rather be here with you
I appreciate
and watch that drivel.
It is a terrible combination, too, when you got the snow and the ice and everything else. Just downshift, folks. Don't use your brakes. That's the key. Don't use your brakes. Lay off, downshift. My little driving tip for the night.
And if you get pulled over, if you pull over, whatever, make sure your radiator doesn't smoke.
Yep.
And if he happens to, and a police officer comes, don't pull out James Buchanan scotch and start drinking.
That might be the smoothest transition to the earliest Stonehead of the week we've ever given out.
This is the no-brainer, so we'll get it out of the way. Miguel Cabrera, you use the do you know who I am card, and with your drinking past, you start drinking scotch in front of the cops. Stonehead! All right, now let's make it serious, because it is serious.
What's very interesting to me is just how different the NFL is from Major League Baseball, because now the NFL has set the stage where, you know, if you get caught in these types of situations, they've laid down the law, and people know that they cannot go down that route. It seems like Major League Baseball probably is not even going to suspend him.
What's weird is Major League Baseball is so caught up in the whole steroids thing that there's really not that much of a policy for alcohol and other things, and that will change because of this. And, you know, there's a lot of debate going on. You know, is he an alcoholic? Is he this? I do not believe, unlike what I believe some of the Tigers have been saying, is that this was his first time that he actually had a sip of alcohol since the incident back in 2009. I think that is ludicrous. I think he has had some. I have no proof, but you don't just all of a sudden have a bottle of James Buchanan scotch in your car as you're driving to Lakeland for spring training if you've never drank before. So, but there are some people who are not good drinkers. You don't have to be an alcoholic to be a bad drinker.
That's the other part of the story that's so disturbing, because it's not just that he got caught, but it's how he acted, not just pulling the do you know who I am card, but, you know, running out into the street and just being belligerent. I mean, the police report said he was belligerent, cocky. I mean, these are not things that you want to read about your star franchise player. And I give Ordonez credit, because of all the people this week who came out and refused to say anything, at least Ordonez steps up and says he's a superstar. He has to start acting like it.
Absolutely. But you know what? Word talk is cheap. I know Dombrowski and Leyland were getting bashed for the way they handled it. You know, what difference would it have made if Dombrowski or Leyland said, we're embarrassed, he's an embarrassment to the organization, which is a lot of people wanted to hear? Would that have made any difference? Seriously, no. What's going to happen is they're going to make him, through baseball and the union or whatever, go to a doctor, and when he's ready to play, he'll play. And I guarantee, I'm not going to guarantee, but I think he'll be ready March 31st against the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium.
How will this affect the team? They've said the right things in terms of them trying to stay focused, but I've rarely witnessed a distraction like this at the beginning of any baseball season's team that they've been able to recover from. How do you see the Tigers moving on?
If he's ready to play, whenever that is, I think it's fine. It's replacing him if he can't play. You know, can Victor Martinez play any first? Carlos Guillen might. Oh, gosh, that's going to be horrible. Look, they need his bat. He's one of the best players in baseball. And look, he was the second place in the MVP. Who was first? Josh Hamilton, who had a heroin problem, who had a relapse. That's what they got to do with Miguel Cabrera. Josh Hamilton has a handler, a babysitter. They need that from Miguel Cabrera.
Well, it appears, as we turn the page here, that Mike Babcock certainly said the right words to his team a couple days ago. 11 days later, 5 straight wins for the Wings.
They've been playing really, really well, and Jimmy Howard, 2 of the last 3 games, he's been outstanding. And to do what they did on the road, 3-game roadie, and they did very well. They won all 3. They're getting ready. They're prime. And let's give a little kudos to Todd Bertuzzi. It's 1,000th game in the NHL, and that great shootout goal to win it today. It's very, very nice. They're playing terrific.
He certainly is a streaky scorer.
Oh, yeah.
When he feels it, he puts it in. And I thought they might be delayed. The good news is this is the benefits of having that charter plane. They got right home from Minnesota through this weather. So the Wings are here. They have tomorrow off, and then fans will be able to watch them here. Okay, as we get ready soon for the beginning of postseason basketball, I'm going to lay this on the table for you.
Okay.
Michigan and Michigan State. As you look at it now, do you think both get in? Do you think one gets in? If so, which one? Or do you think neither team makes it to the NCAA tournament?
Gut feeling, one gets in, and it's Michigan State. And even though they might actually lose both games to Michigan, I think they'll get in because of their strength of schedule, because of the reputation. Michigan, they have to play Wisconsin at Chrysler, and for some reason Wisconsin just owns them. If they can beat Wisconsin, then I think they could get in. But I don't think they're going to beat the Badgers, unfortunately.
It's pretty cool that there are important games in the regular season down the stretch for both teams. I think if Michigan wins the 2 home games, happen to be against Wisconsin and Michigan State, that'll seal it for them, no question. They're already at 17. 2 more, they're at 19. That would be pretty clutch.
Yeah, it would be. Don't want to end on a downer, but one of the greats, one of the legend in high school basketball coaching, Ed Rachel, passed away this past week. 20 years he was the head basketball coach at the St. Martin de Porres, so condolences to his family and, of course, everybody who played under him or against him or just knew the man.
Always good to recognize the legends around our town.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Stoney, for doing that. Safe drive home. Please stick with us. Our sports update's coming up right after the break. That wasn't very smooth, but you know what I meant.
We're coming back. Those pinstripes are awesome.